and very fast at this. So I will either leave them lying flat on the table like this, or if I get lots and lots wired, I will very carefully insert them in a jar so they'll stand upright like this and they won't get bruised. And every now and then, give them a little spritz. So I'll start forming. Now, for a nosegay like this, just a few of the very large roses in the center. And you see, if you put these two great ones together, there's no way that you can get them to be upright. So it's better to use a smaller rose. These little champagne roses are very pretty next to the big rose. And you just hold the stems in your hands, filling in. You can raise the roses too, up to fill those spaces. So pretty. We're using champagne roses. We're using Bianca, the white. And this beautiful fragrant pink
is heather.
Oh, heather, I love that one. That is so pretty too.
And it's nice to mix the different sizes and the different colors.
So when you get a handful like this, you then start taping the taped handful.
Makes it a lot easier.
Yeah, what I like to do is sort of make like rosettes, and then we make our actual bouquet. These small bouquets will then create the large bouquet. So here we have this, and that's a good start of our nosegay. And just keep adding roses. And the petals, don't throw them away if they fall off, because they should all be saved, refrigerated, and kept for throwing at the end of the ceremony. Well, this one is almost ready to ribbon. Hannah's so good with ribbons. Why don't you finish this beautiful, beautiful dark red bouquet? This is one of the most beautiful bouquets I've ever seen for a winter wedding. Those are so beautiful. They're almost black.
They're called black magic.
They're great. How many roses are there?
24 roses. And if you had just on the natural stems, it would probably be about 6 inches wide. So that is why we wire. And see how little it is? It's not even an inch thick. So now we want to cover this with a ribbon. So the first step is to even out all of these wires. They're all at different lengths. So what I do is just take a wire cutter.
Sort of taper it.
Taper it. It's probably about 9 inches long. About 3 inches up, I put the ribbon. I have about a 2.5 inch off-white double-faced satin ribbon, and I just want to tack it with a straight pin just to hold it in place. And then I cover it. And this just makes a very neat end. I just wrap it, and I try and overlap evenly as far as I can. And then I cut it and leave a little bit of length and just fold it over and pin it again. There you go.
How wonderful that looks. And the bride has a comfortable handle.
Exactly.
And would you tie a bow there?
You could. And you could tie a bow separately and then pin it on. That gives you a lot more control.
Well, it's beautiful. What an excellent bouquet. Now I'm going to do this one a little bit differently.
I really like pearl pins. I think they're classy and you can get them anywhere.
I love how these look up the handle.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's nice. Now I'll just rest this while I make my bow, because this bridal bouquet requires a bow with long streamers. I'll tie the loops. That'll be pretty. And this bow can be pinned right onto the stem, but I think I should finish off the ends. Where are those silver scissors? Thank you. And I'm going to cut these into sort of points. So you can see we have a lot of fun making bouquets like this. They're very rewarding results. How does that look? Well, here I think we have 2 wonderful rose nosegay bouquets. And I would consider this a lesson in bouquet making 101. Thanks, Hannah.
You're welcome.
Wherever you go, whatever you touch, the germ-killing protection of the Lysol name can go with you. Introducing Lysol Antibacterial Hand Gel. It rids your hands of germs without soap and water gently. New Lysol Hand Gel.
This is new L'Oreal Color Endure Stay On Makeup. It stays on you.
And only you.
But the real surprise, that it feels so light, so comfortable. It blends so easily, then sets to stay the day. New L'Oreal Color Endure, a light, silky stay-on makeup.
Guess what? I've got a secret admirer. So do I. Me too. I think it's Brian. I think it's Max. No, he eats pigs. Who could it be?
When you're nice on the inside, it shows on the outside.
Hey, Max, do you think it's from a girl? Girl? Hi, boy.
Hallmark Gold Crown, the store for people like you. Just out of the bag, 99-cent Valentine's Kids cards for all the kids in your life. Right now at Hallmark Gold Crown.
It's coming in just 1 week. Rosie's LA Adventure. The Chevy Venture minivan is bringing Rosie to LA for the entire month of February. All new shows with Janet Jackson, Antonio Banderas, Sharon Stone, Jimmy Smits, Heather Locklear, the cast of ER, and much more. Find out about Rosie's LA Adventure on the next Rosie O'Donnell Show with guests Bill Pullman and Michael T. Weiss. Rosie's LA Adventure starts in just 1 week.
Monday at 4 p.m.
You have to keep driving. You're always on the go. Since you need car insurance, call the people who know. They say 1-800-SAVE-AUTO. Pick up the phone. The call is free. They say your monthly payments are low, just like you'd expect. Because when you deal with Safe Auto, you're dealing direct. They say 1-800-SAVE-AUTO. Pick up the phone. The call is free. They say 1-800-SAVE-AUTO.
I kind of felt that depression was my fault and it's something that I should be able to fix on my own. I felt like I was fighting myself, trying just to get through each day, and I couldn't do it anymore.
When you're ready to get help, Charter is here, and you can call us anytime. Charter is more than just a hospital. We have lots of treatment options and lots of ways to make them work for you, whether it's days, after work, or on weekends.
I thought, well, I'm the only one that has this problem, and it's not true.
If you have a problem with depression or alcohol, don't wait to call. If you don't get help at Charter, please get help somewhere.
At many weddings, guests spend most of the reception sitting at their tables, looking over centerpieces. The most important thing to remember when designing your centerpiece is scale. The types of the arrangements you choose and the containers that they're placed in should be a reflection of the size of the room, the size of the tables, the style of the wedding, and the palette of the wedding, the color scheme. I'll show you some ideas that I think you'll really like. Don't forget, centerpieces should never obstruct your guests' view of each other. I like arrangements like this. Not that this is the typical wedding flower arrangement. This is for autumn. It's made out of Leonidas roses, these beautiful bronzy roses, and pepperberries. These happen to be a Brazilian variety of the Florida native. And it's just a lovely thing. And guess what? The container is a julep cup. You may have had mint juleps in such a thing, but silver or silver plate, these make very pretty flower arrangements. You can do one of these in the center of a small table, or try clustering 3, such as this, in the center of a beautiful table. To make this kind of arrangement, it's very simple. Just make sure you have your roses prepped, stripped of their leaves, and carefully looked at so that there are no blemishes, no torn petals. And measure the height of the julep cup and just start arranging. A lot of florists count. I just don't like the idea of counting, but if you're going to be making enough arrangements for 40 tables and say you're going to have 3 on each table, that's 120 arrangements. So you better count and figure out how many roses you're really going to need. Always cut your roses as you are making the arrangement. This fresh cut enables the stem of the rose to really drink up that cool water in which the arrangement is being placed. So here we have 7, 8. 8 looks perfect for this arrangement. And then nice sprigs of the pepperberry. And use some of these leaves as greenery. Make sure the cup is filled almost to the brim with water. A very important part of making a successful centerpiece or arrangement is that there is sufficient water for the flowers to drink. These can be made the day in advance. If the roses are tight, then absolutely make the arrangements the day before, because you don't want to see just rose buds. You really want to see the rose. And here you have a really pretty autumnal centerpiece. Now here's a very simple idea. A cube of glass filled with crystal clear water. And you can get these vases in floral supply stores. You can also get these floaters at certain mail order catalogs and also at supply stores. These float right in at the surface of the water, and then one of my favorite flowers is the gardenia. To float just the gardenia in the water causes the gardenia to brown a little bit around the edges. If you put it in the ring and then insert the ring right in the water, you have a floating gardenia that will last for a very long time. You can also use this kind of container in a larger size. Here's one with 2 floating gardenias. Now, gardenias are not the only flower that looks nice floating. You can float camellias. If you have a stand of camellias in your yard, you can just pick the blossoms and float them in the surface of the water. I've seen these vases used very effectively with pansies. They look lovely just covering the surface of the water. But you can also float a votive candle. This will just float right in the water. And for a nighttime wedding, a fragrant centerpiece of 2 or 3 floating gardenias and 2 or more candles, depending on your budget. And this looks beautiful unlit, and it looks absolutely magical lit at night. It sparkles and it smells so good. A great, great centerpiece idea. Another beautiful idea that I learned from my friend and a well-known florist in New York City, Michael George, is masses of one kind of flower in a frosted or sandblasted cylinder. You can find these in certain floral supply stores. And I'd like to just show you how I would make a peony arrangement. This is a multicolored grouping of peonies, just stuffed in like that. It's not as pretty as if you carefully arrange them. Michael George actually spirals around, starting at the perimeter and ending up in the center, so that you have an arrangement that looks like this. You would have, for roses, look how effective that is for a winter wedding. What a beautiful, beautiful centerpiece those red roses would be on a white tablecloth or a shimmering silver or gold cloth. And if you want to do a mixture of all of these lovely cut peonies, always again, cut your stem before you make the arrangement. And all these peonies that look so tight and sort of squashed will just fluff up beautifully in an hour or so, where they have some room to breathe. And take away any leaves that don't look pretty. And notice how I'm going around the outside of the container, working my way in towards the center. Even buds are very beautiful in an arrangement like this. It gives some texture to the look of the thing. I'll do one deeper magenta one on that side. These little flower knives are very good tools. Those 2 are available at the floral supply stores. And there. It doesn't take too many flowers to make an arrangement that looks so absolutely full and luscious, and an appropriate height for a dining table. And if you put 4 or 5 or 6 of those individual votives with a full-blown flower around the centerpiece, it makes it look even more luxurious. So you can see that with a few simple and elegant ideas, you can create centerpieces that are just extraordinary.
Don't! That's bad luck. We gotta look like Rain Clean Clorox bleach.
Don't be fooled by bargain bleaches. Only Rain Clean Clorox bleach smells fresh as a spring rain.
Told ya.
Try Rain Clean Clorox bleach.
There are those among us with very simple tastes. They only want the best. And for them, there's Fancy Feast gourmet cat food. Exceptionally moist and delicious. Fancy Feast. Good taste is easy to recognize.
Hi, I'm Cindy Williams. You may remember my commercials a year ago when I lost 25 pounds on Jenny Craig. Since then, some people I've known took pills to try and lose weight, and they gained it all back faster than they took it off. You know what the real magic pill is? One-on-one support. With Jenny Craig, you don't have to do it alone.
Our New Year's special. Join our complete program, a $398 value for $148, plus the cost of food. Call 1-800-98-JENNY today. Jenny Craig. The difference is one-on-one.
Minute Maid or Meyer brand. Ragu or Meyer. Cool Whip or Meyer. Nabisco or Meyer. Del Monte or Meyer. You won't taste the difference either. Meyer brand. Expect the best for less. 100% quality guaranteed.
This week, get a half gallon of Meyer orange juice from concentrate, only 79 cents. Plus, choose from a select variety of Meyer brand cereals, just $1.29.
Brush up on a new style at Maplewood Hairdressers and discover a whole new you. The professionals at Maplewood Hairdressers can create a style to fit your life. Bring in the whole family for professional hair care for men, women, and children. Ask about Maplewood's Helene Curtis Uniperm Special, now only $27.95. And for all your hair care needs, Maplewood carries a complete line of Nexus hair care products. Don't let style pass you by. Maplewood Hairdressers and Nexus gets you noticed.
Experience America's favorite pastime with one of America's greatest Broadway musicals. A home run hit, said the New York Post.
All I want, love again.
Toe-tapping showstoppers and devilish dance. Step up to the plate for Damn Yankees.
Tickets now at the box office, all Ticketmaster outlets, or charge by phone.
Today's Martha Stewart Living is brought to you by Clorox and by Fancy Feast. Closed captioning is made possible by the following sponsor.
Chock full of nuts is that heavenly coffee. Better coffee a millionaires money can't buy.
Luscious Nestle Sweet Success shakes. So rich, creamy, and decadent. With Nestle Sweet Success, you can lose it all and have it all at the same time.
You know, oftentimes when planning a wedding, it's those little details that have a really bigger impact on the overall presentation than sometimes the great big ideas. Here's a very simple way to brighten each guest's place setting for a seated dinner using a flower that complements your centerpiece. Just a single flower carefully placed in a beautifully folded napkin really can make a tremendous difference. And I'll show you how to fold a napkin just like that. You fold the napkin in half from top to bottom. If you're going to do a quantity of napkins like this, make sure you have your whole stack of freshly ironed napkins right in front of you. And crease lightly with your fingertips. Now bring the top half down, folding that in half. It's very important to make sure that the straight lines meet, the corners are even. Now, turn it over, smooth it out, and you fold each half into half, making these edges meet the center of the napkin. You're going to have to, if you don't have the napkins pre-folded with creases in them, you have to sort of eyeballing to make sure that it's even. But you'll get the knack quick enough. And now fold this in half, just like that. And here you have a napkin that's ready for the insertion of a bloom. Now remember, matching the blooms to the centerpiece is a really good idea. If you have a daisy centerpiece, insert a single daisy and maybe a leaf in this fold. But if you're having a tulip, just take a tulip like that. And these vials prolong the life of the cut flower. Looks like a test tube without its top. Fill it with clear, cold water. And this is the little plastic top that fits securely over the end of the tube. This little plastic top has a little cutout in the top It doesn't leak, but you have to push the flour gently through the plastic. It goes right down into the tube. And once you insert the flour, say halfway down into the vial, you can see that the cut end is going to have a nice drink of water, and it will stay fresh for hours. And now you just tuck this, making sure that it's dry, right into your beautifully folded napkin. A simple flower tucked into a napkin for a wedding table, it's a good thing. You can find many more interesting ideas like those from today's show in our magazine, Martha Stewart Living, and in our special weddings issue. To order, call our 800 number.